Welcome to today's video. This is a crucial video with a parabolic upswing in the cryptocurrency market, and I believe this is the last chance to make changes to your portfolio. And exactly these decisions or changes that we can still make now, before everything happens, will have a tremendous impact on the returns after the bull run, which is why I consider today's video incredibly important. So please make sure to stay until the end. I know that with today's video, and with the views and thoughts I will present, I will certainly not make any friends, because it is definitely a very controversial opinion, especially in the German-speaking area that I will represent in today's video. But for me personally, it is simply important to lay the numbers, data, and facts on the table in order to be able to make a rational decision later. Therefore, please do not get stuck on old opinions or old strategies that may not really work at the current time. Instead, form your own opinion, look at the numbers, data, and facts. It's not about my personal opinion where I philosophize from left to right, but in today's presentation, for which I have put in a lot of effort, I will focus on numbers, data, facts, and charts that will support my personal thesis. So make sure to stick around until the end. I know, yes, this video might not be particularly well received by some of you. Especially in the German-speaking cryptocurrency market, my personal opinion is somewhat controversial or may not be shared by other crypto YouTubers. But in my opinion, it is simply important to gather different opinions in this space, especially among crypto YouTubers, particularly as a viewer. Please do not see my opinion as an absolute ultimatum, as if this is the only opinion that is correct and all other opinions are wrong. In my opinion, it is simply important to dynamically adjust one's strategy based on the current market conditions, and in my view, a lot is changing in the cryptocurrency market right now. And those who do not take the right steps in their own portfolio now will definitely miss out on some performance after the bull run. That's why it is incredibly important for me to inform you about this, because that was originally my intention in creating this YouTube channel, to get the absolute maximum out of the upcoming bull run together with my community. I felt the same way back when I started in 2018. I have often listened to the wrong people and made wrong decisions, and for that reason, I want to reach out through my YouTube channel and my videos to those who are on the same mission as I am, simply to get the absolute maximum out of it, who may not necessarily be set in their ways on stubborn opinions, as is often seen in the German-speaking area, where many investors and viewers are unfortunately somewhat narrow-minded and may be stuck on one opinion, and any opinion that deviates even slightly is then considered wrong or something else. That's why it's important for me to give a comprehensive overview of my personal opinion at this current time regarding the cryptocurrency market, and also concerning my personal strategy. So make sure to stay until the end, and then you can form your own opinion on the matter. Make sure to leave a comment on today's video. What is your opinion? Feel free to leave critical comments as well. And I know that critical comments will come anyway, because at the end of the day, it is a controversial opinion, especially in the German-speaking area. But I really don't care about that, because I want to bring the numbers, data, and facts to the table in order to make rational decisions later on. And that's exactly why we're diving straight into the video content. One thing should be mentioned, I will not be promoting any exchanges or anything similar in today's video. I won't ask you to subscribe to me or anything like that. Today, it's really solely about the message that I am simply sharing the right information and the right views, in my opinion, with my community. And that's why today's video is really all about the content, and for that reason, we will start right now. Here you can see the presentation that I have prepared for you for today's video. It is time to rethink. What worked 4 years ago no longer works today. Parabolic upswing has not yet begun. This is the last chance to reposition yourself before everything starts. And to ensure you are informed, here are some thoughts. The information from today's video is inspired by Murat. He is also a larger crypto influencer in that sense. So, it's not that someone might write in the comments, "Hey, you copied his views," or something like that. I was simply inspired by him. That's why I want you to be informed as well. As I said, there is full transparency here on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, what we have seen recently is that Bitcoin has pumped to $71,000. Therefore, in my opinion, the bull run is slowly but surely being initiated because we have left this long consolidation channel. However, the topic of today's video is not really about that. What I want to clarify is now is really the last chance to make any final changes before the entire altcoin season begins. Otherwise, let's start with the first content. Times have changed. Popular Bitcoin assets from the last bull run will emerge as major losers in this cycle. I have provided some examples. So just the whole bunch of Dino coins, Quant, Algorand, XRP, Polkadot, VeChain, Cardano, Hedera, Cosmos. Yes, the current performance of all the coins that were popular back then, which still have extremely high valuations at this point, with some having a market capitalization of over $1 billion, is, in my opinion, no longer justified. I am very, very sure that these coins will not perform well in the upcoming cycle. There may still be potential for a 2 or 3, maybe a maximum of 4x return. However, in my opinion, there are significantly better opportunities arising in this cycle that we need to take advantage of. Because if investors are still stuck on old opinions, old strategies, or an old portfolio that might have worked in 2020 or 2021, I believe that it will not work anymore now. Times have changed, the projects and narratives have changed, and therefore it is really important to rethink one's portfolio. I know that the majority of my community on my YouTube channel is already prepared for the top narratives. However, it is important to reiterate what is relevant in this cycle and which projects may be outdated where it no longer makes sense to invest based on the risk-reward ratio. Let's proceed. Every cryptocurrency market has a pre-halving rally. This is illustrated here. Based on the last cycles since 2012, 2016, 2020, and now 2024, we can also see quite clearly, shown in yellow, that every bull run and each cycle had a kind of pre-halving rally. In this phase, which gives a taste of the upcoming bull run, one could always see in past cycles which narratives would dominate the bull run. There were no surprises. We already saw ICOs in 2016 that gained recognition before the bull run, and there were also clear signs in 2020. As we have seen, some DeFi projects had strong indications that DeFi would perform well during the DeFi summer of 2020-2021, even before the bull run. The trends and narratives have always been established before the bull run. This is extremely important to understand because I often hear the opinions of others like, hey Vincent, could it not be that Cardano really takes off or that Quant will deliver another 10-20x? And of course, I personally don't have a crystal ball and I can't claim anything with certainty. But based on the last cycles, we can clearly see that the narratives and trends were always established before the bull run even took place, as we had already seen relatively well what investors were focusing on and in which direction the cycle would play out. So it has never been a big surprise that a new narrative has emerged overnight. Of course, we had already seen this with NFTs, which really appeared overnight. In this case, it was a new technology, which is what I mean. The big picture, meaning the different sectors within the cryptocurrency market, was already relatively obvious to see what would perform well even before the cycle started. And now we come back to this topic, especially in this pre-halving rally that we observed in Q1 2024, specifically in March and April. You can take a look at all the charts. We have already recognized quite well which narratives and trends have performed the strongest. And here we see a nice overview of the individual narratives, and on the right side, the performance, showing how strongly the entire sector has performed in percentage terms. You can see below the explanation of the performance of the cryptocurrency market in the first quarter, sorted by the average quarterly returns of their top 10 tokens. So basically from every narrative, the 10 largest projects are evaluated based on performance, and we can also see quite clearly that meme coins have really performed the best by far. It is simply a fact, and it is also what I mentioned earlier. In today's video, I will lay the numbers, data, and facts on the table because we cannot, as investors, avoid the numbers, data, and facts. And that's why it's important for me to look at the charts here as well. And to present the numbers here, we can see it quite well again based on another statistic. 14 of the 20 best coins since the beginning of the year are meme coins. The outperformance of meme coins will continue. In 2025, this is also my personal thesis. We can already see from Q1, Q2, and Q3 2024 that meme coins have had some of the best performances, the best charts, and usually the strongest investors. Often the sell-offs in meme coins were not that strong. In the meantime, I have seen that everything has been bought up during individual dips. For example, with other projects, even though I am a huge fan of the AI tech from GHX, it is still one of my largest positions in my own portfolio at the current time. But even here with some AI coins, it must be said honestly, there were sell-offs of 50, 60, or even 70% throughout the entire summer. Of course, I am still extremely convinced of AI tech, so don't worry. I am also still heavily invested, specifically in the AI coins. And later, when we look at other charts and statistics again, you will also recognize that I am often most heavily weighted in DeFi, AI, and memes, so those are the three narratives all in all. So don't worry about that, but I just want to make it clear in today's video that we must not underestimate meme coins at all. We absolutely must not have an opinion about meme coins. They are just worthless shit coins or something like that. If we hold the opinion against meme coins, we will definitely leave some performance behind after the bull run. And that's why it's simply important to accept, okay, meme coins is definitely a narrative that we need to pay attention to, where there is some capital and return to be gained. And here again, we see other statistics. Only 42 tokens among the top 300 on CoinMarketCap have surpassed Bitcoin in 2020, and so far in 2024. Outperformed, and what we can also see well here is that the top projects were all meme coins, so it is really impressive what we have here. Of course, there are also some AI coins, and that's why you will later see my personal portfolio structure, which shows that I am heavily invested in AI and meme coins. This is how one's portfolio weighting is established, depending on which narrative is performing the strongest. We can see this quite well again. We must not underestimate meme coins at all. Here is another nice graphic showing the overall performance of individual narratives. Meme coins, reward assets, AI, DeFi, layer 1. So, at this point, it's almost like a game of day and night. Of course, we must also clearly state that there are quite a few more meme coins, and you can get burned much faster with meme coins. So at this point, I want to make it clear that in today's video, I do not want to praise meme coins to the skies. At the end of the day, it's not the case because I would say that out of 100 meme coins, 99% are absolute garbage. But if we can simply manage to understand the trends within the meme coins, it is also quite possible to discover a particular meme coin, and I will later show you a strategy where you don't necessarily have to find that one meme coin out of 100, but I will demonstrate how I personally approach my own strategy with meme coins, and how to tackle the whole topic in a somewhat more conservative way. I know it sounds a bit contradictory at first when I say to invest conservatively in meme coins, but it is actually possible, so I will also give you an insight into my personal strategy later. Otherwise, we also see that throughout October, meme coins have performed the best again. So here we have the numbers, data, and facts laid out before us, and we cannot deny this. As investors who want to maximize their returns, in my opinion, one cannot simply disregard memes and say, I only invest in utility coins, because that, in my view, is a fatal mistake. Additionally, we see that in terms of volume, memes are performing the strongest. Also here, what I want to make clear is that we saw the first rally of meme coins in February, March, and April, and what will simply happen now in Wave 2 is similar to what happened with Bitcoin, as well as in the cycles of 2016 and 2020-2021, where we saw a total of 3 waves. The first wave, and this is exactly what I mentioned about the pre-halving rally, is that we simply get the indicator here, a sign of which narratives and sectors will perform best. And exactly this continues throughout the entire bull run. So it is very, very unlikely that the current narratives, RWA, AI, deep in memes, will significantly die out and new narratives will emerge. They are usually already set in stone before the bull run even starts. I just wanted to highlight this again. And also here, to return to my thesis from the beginning of the video, yes, it is the last chance because we have the opportunity here to rearrange our holdings relatively cheaply or simply to buy up certain positions in our own portfolio. Maybe consider adding new memes to the portfolio before everything plays out. You regret when it's too late. That's why it's important for me to build this up in the video right now before Wave 2 and Wave 3 come. Otherwise, here we can also see the current ratio. Often people say that it is already too late for meme coins, but in my opinion, we are still completely at the beginning. Here we see graphically represented the total market capitalization of all Bitcoin compared to the new meme coins that are currently emerging. For example, Doge is not included in this, but you know what I mean, especially the new meme coins that I have mentioned repeatedly on my YouTube channel. Assets like Hoppy, Bread, and Turbo, whatever they are called, are definitely included here. In my opinion, there is still a lot of potential in them, as there is often the belief that it is already too late or that meme coins are too overheated. And yes, that can definitely be the case for a short moment, but in the long term, I see significantly more growth, especially regarding new emerging memes. Otherwise, here is another conclusion from my side. I don't intend to make the video too long, share some thoughts. It is surely time to rethink. Those who cling strongly to old projects will come out as losers from this cycle. I personally find it really unfortunate that meme coins have such a high relevance in the market. To be honest, I even hate it. Yes, I also find it really incredibly unfortunate that the normal utility coins are not performing the strongest. At the end of the day, what performs the best is simply what has the most to show for it. I believe that for many, it is also a wishful thinking that unfortunately does not exist. I have been active in the cryptocurrency market since 2018 and got involved back then because I was interested in the technology of decentralized money. I am a very big fan of new technology and innovation. Unfortunately, the cryptocurrency market is still so young that we are not trading real values here, but everything is still based on hype, narratives, and emotions. And it is incredibly important to understand that one must really differentiate clearly between what truly exists in some projects that may already have some substance to show. But unfortunately, it is simply the case that at this current time, the narrative matters, the hype, the emotions, the euphoria of the people, and at the end of the day, this determines where the most liquidity flows in. Then again, the next points. One must rely on numbers, data, and facts at the current time, and these clearly speak in favor of meme coins. When I love the cryptocurrency market above all else, at the end of the day, I am here as an investor to make more money from money. So this is my personal philosophy. I don't really care what others think about it or what others think about memes. I don't mind if the comments are full of Vincent, you're crazy, or another one of those shitcoin YouTubers. I received such a comment just a few days ago under one of my videos, so I really don't care because at the end of the day, I want to bring the numbers, data, and facts to the table and work with my community to get the absolute maximum out of the upcoming bull run. That's my personal motto. No matter what happens, come what may, I don't really care what others think, even if they are stuck in old opinions. At the end of the day, after the bull run, we will see who was right with their strategy. This is also a philosophy from my side. That's why I invest in what brings me the highest return and not in what I personally like the most. Yes, I am also extremely convinced of technologies of certain AI projects or RWA projects. A good example here is VeChain or Quant, where I personally also believe in the technology. I find it extremely exciting and I am personally active in it as well. But at the end of the day, I am not investing in a quant just because I like the technology. Rather, I invest in the projects that bring me the most returns. And here's one last saying before some comments come in again. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It is what it is. We have to accept the rules of the game. In the case of the cryptocurrency market, the rules are set for us. Either you act according to the rules and try to get the absolute maximum out of this ecosystem in this cycle, or one resists the current rules and conditions in the market due to their own ego, only to end up as a loser later on. That is, of course, also an option. So, those who do not want to participate here will see what happens to their own portfolio at the end of the bull run. However, I also think it should be mentioned that even a portfolio containing a quant, a VeChain, Algorand, or whatever they are all called, could potentially yield a 2x or 3x return. If that's enough for someone, they can certainly approach it that way. Personally, I think it's better to just invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, as that puts you in a relatively good position. And for those who are simply aiming for that 10x during this bull run, so my personal goal is to aim for a 10, 15, 20, or 25x return, because I know the numbers from the last bull run. I definitely know what is possible, and to achieve this goal, we as investors must adapt to the current market conditions, and memes simply belong in the portfolio. That's why here is another rough overview of how I am currently positioned. I should also mention at this point that I have talked a lot about meme coins, and very positively about meme coins, but I am not all in on meme coins, so that should not come across that way. I am also covered in the other narratives. I am currently positioned as follows: memes 35%, AI and DeFi 42%, gaming another 8%, RWA 8%, and then I also have 1 or 2 layer 1 in my portfolio. I really like things like Calibrium or Tectum. I also have them in my portfolio. This is roughly how it looks for me personally. Feel free to write in the comments how it looks for you currently. Otherwise, just one more. One last thing to address is what makes a good meme coin, how one should generally approach it, and we also have a relatively nice overview of what constitutes a good meme coin. We can see that thousands of millions are launched daily for new coins. It's really crazy, but most are just shitcoins and trash or simply irrelevant memes. That's just the art at the end of the day, figuring out the cults, especially things like lifestyle brands or subcultures, movements, or almost half religions that emerge where people believe so strongly in them. It's basically just a community that is being forged together, some parts of which already exist. We have seen this, for example, from GigaChat. This community has existed outside the cryptocurrency market and was then simply brought into it through memes. So, there are now real cultures emerging. This should definitely not be underestimated, especially with memes, because the influence of investors is simply incredibly strong. Often, in utility projects, when bad news comes out or something else happens, investors become frightened and sell off immediately. But I would say that with a meme where there is really a cult behind it, where people stick together almost like a big family, such a dynamic can often arise that one truly believes in their own coin, in their own investment, almost religiously. This is actually what one would want to avoid, becoming emotionally attached to the investment, but this is indeed the case with meme coins. However, it can happen quite quickly that some investors become emotionally attached and connected to their own investment through the meme coin, and when something like this happens, real cultures emerge, almost half religions, and it is extremely important to identify the right coins. By the way, there will be another video coming in the next few days about which memes I am currently keeping an eye on, so feel free to leave a subscription if you are interested in such videos. Otherwise, let's talk about another graphic here. We can see quite clearly that some meme coins simply come onto the market to take a quick cash grab, to be briefly sniped, where a pre-sale takes place, which often ends in a rug pull or something similar. It is simply important that a fair launch has taken place, that the developers have also burned their liquidity, meaning they have essentially sold their own positions, and that it has taken a long time for the trend to really establish itself sustainably is also very important to understand. Here you can see roughly a graphic that I personally pay attention to when it comes to meme coins. Otherwise, here are some final thoughts before I finish the video. You can feel free to pause the video and read everything at your leisure. I don't want to read everything word for word, but here you see a little thought-provoking idea from my side. I also want to emphasize that my information here is not to be taken as an absolute ultimatum. It is simply another perspective that one can adopt. For me personally, in my own analyses, it is also very, very important to consider the entire spectrum of information and to form my own opinion based on this entire spectrum of information. That is why I wanted to mention it explicitly here. It is not an ultimate opinion or an ultimate view from my side. I could also be wrong at the end of the day. Yes, later it will definitely show, after the bull run, who was right. That's why it's also good, of course, to gather different opinions. Otherwise, it was simply important for me to provide a small thought-provoking suggestion here for some of you to possibly adjust your own strategy and your positions in the portfolio, and for that reason, I have personally committed to informing my community about such trends. If you like this kind of content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, especially for the loyal viewers among you. And just to clarify, this is not financial advice. You have to make your own decisions later. And as I said, it could also be that at the end of the day, I am completely wrong and memes all go down the drain, so who knows? Ultimately, everyone has to make their own decisions, and it's completely fine if you say I feel uncomfortable with meme coins, including larger players like Bitcoin, BitTensor, Casper, Solana is fine. You can still profit in this cycle with these projects. Personally, my philosophy and strategy are as follows. I really want to go for the absolute maximum. I want to achieve at least a 10x return from the upcoming bull run, or even better, a 15, 20, or 25x. For this reason, I have also started a video series on my YouTube channel where I want to scale a portfolio from 50,000 to 1 million. You can of course follow along as well. This is my personal challenge during the bull run, so you are kept informed. Otherwise, I sincerely thank you for your attention. Be sure to write your personal opinion in the comments. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video or perhaps don't support the opinion, feel free to give it a thumbs down. That way I can see how the video was received by you. Otherwise, I would say see you in the next video.